Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We have a returning guest, someone who's gone out of his way to build the 52-year spreadsheet, going 2 years further, adding additional variables. Now we have John, who's coming out and created a spreadsheet for debt management, maybe a tweak around recycling capital. So let's welcome him to the show and thank him for all he's doing. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Michael.
Awesome, man. So why don't we talk about debt management, recycling capital, kind of the color of that, and then we'll bring up the spreadsheet and share with everybody what it is. So Jonathan, or I'm sorry. Yeah, John, do you go by John or Jonathan?
John,
sorry. I was thinking Jonathan Twombly for a second. I was like, John, when you think about debt management and recycling capital, what do those two words mean to you?
well, I've been doing a lot of study. I watched a couple of your videos that you had recently with Mr. Dow.
Yep.
And looking at that, he talked about expanding your portfolio,
right?
Probably as the best way to use this to your advantage.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I've come up with 5 conclusions concerning this.
Okay.
And we can go over those.
Yeah. Why don't you share? Why don't you tease us with them, and then we'll bring up the spreadsheet. So what are the 5 conclusions?
Okay. Put on the glasses again.
There you go.
First, the threshold.
Yeah.
It looks like you want to execute a cash out refi after a single property value has increased by at least 40%.
I like that. Okay. All right.
Expand the portfolio, use cash out refi money to make a down payment on the next property acquisition.
Love that. Yep. Perfect.
Principal pay down. Using cash out refi money to pay down another mortgage does not always make sense with small portfolios.
Agreed. Yes, I agree with that. Okay.
Income snowball.
Yes.
Utilizes cash flow profits to make a down payment on the next property acquisition.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Whereas recycling money redeploys existing dead money to acquire another property.
Exactly. Yep. Love that.
So those are my 5 conclusions I came up with. If you could add any more, feel free.
No, I think those are awesome. The first one, threshold of 40% appreciation. The only wrinkle I have in that is you want to make sure it's still cash flows, right? No alligators. That's a hard and fast rule.
Oh, you mean one of these guys here?
Yeah. No. Oh, look at that. No alligators. Oh, I love that picture. Can you send that to me? If that's I need that image. That's a good one.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. So let me bring up this spreadsheet because I have it here, and we can show people what we're talking about. So hopefully you can see that now, John.
Yes.
Awesome. So why don't you walk people through the layout, maybe the columns and what you have here?
Well, in this column 3 here, or row 3.
Yep.
I've got the number of years.
So that's
right?
Ownership years.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And I use that as a part of the calculation for all these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And you see home value appreciation for each year.
Yep. I see that. So you bought it in this theoretical example, you buy it for 120, after 12 months, it's worth 134, then 144, then 152.
Right. And so forth till you get to year 5 at 168.
Perfect.
And 168,000, that's the 40% threshold.
Got it. Okay. I'm with you. Okay.
Down at the bottom is an interesting calculation. If you can go down it.
Oh, sure.
Cursor down a little bit.
Yep.
Look at the payoff loan balance on the first row.
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
Just kind of click on that first red one.
Yep.
Look at that calculation. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot of math.
Yes, but it works.
There you go. Yeah. So basically, what you're capturing there is principal pay down.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah.
And if you were to do a cash out refi,
yep. Okay.
Down at the bottom, that's the amount that you would get after the first year. Wouldn't be enough to be worth it.
So let me just make sure I understood that. So basically, you're assuming you do the cash out refi to what, 80%?
If you look at a little further up, you'll see the LTV. LTV is in just below down payment up at the top.
Oh, there it is. Oh, so 75%. Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right. So
you can change those values, by the way.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. So, okay. So you're assuming, I like it. 75%, very conservative. It basically saying, if you're going to do a cash out refi, it doesn't make sense. Perfect. I got it. I'm with you.
Right.
Okay.
So if you get to year 5,
yep,
$38,000 looks like it might be enough for a down payment on another property.
Yeah. So let me just look at year 5. Let me look at year 5. So, okay. So and
I'm assuming 7% interest rates at that year.
Oh, I love it. See, you actually rose. See, I was going to see if that was there. So yeah, you're assuming again that what might be really cool, because again, this interest rate is going to make a difference.
Oh, it cuts into your cash flow.
Huge, huge. Exactly. Yeah. So this is fun. Is again, this spreadsheet you can modify and play with. I think what's interesting is we might get to 7% in year 3, but we might be at 5% by year 5. That is why having 30-year money in this huge run up, because Dion, like, for example, he and I have a bet, which I think I'm going to smoke him on. Dion thinks rates go up and then they fall this year. I think that is nonsense. I don't think the market moves that fast. I think they could do 2 years of run up, have a nasty recession, and then the Fed whacks it again, just like they did last time. So I think it could get to 7 by year 3 and then be at 5% in year 5. That might be fun to play with.
Well, this is a day to pick on Dion. You know, whenever he thinks about selling his properties, he should have one of these posters.
But not today.
Yes.
That's funny. So, okay. So 7%. I like that. 30-year money, hence the term, your closing costs. Yep. No make ready makes perfect sense. Principal, interest, escrow, mortgage. So, okay. You're calculating your mortgage payment. I like that. Property management, because you're basing that on rent. Total expenses yearly. I like it. So you do have rent going up every year. I like that. That's nice. I like that. Okay.
At least try to anyway.
Yeah.
You may not always be able to do so if the tenant stays in place.
Yeah.
But they have to renew a contract every year. So
I think that's reasonable.
Yep.
Yeah, I think those are reasonable rent bumps. I think 10%. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Calculating cash flow. So your cash flow stays pretty stable.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Even okay.
If you were to change that 7% to 5%, you'll see that it changes.
Let's do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, for sure.
Dramatically.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, interest hurts.
Oh, no question. It's the largest expense for sure. Yep. And then your yield again. Yeah, I like it. And you still get the 38 grand. Yeah. I like what you got here. So tell me what this loan to cash ratio is.
Well,
G5. What is G? What is 5? I just haven't heard that term. And maybe, okay. So that's the loan. Oh, so you're dividing cash by the loan. I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
I was just trying to find some kind of threshold I was playing with, but I think I like the 40% thing a little better.
Yeah. So you were basically saying anything less than 4 makes sense to do the refis, basically what you were doing with this calculation.
Yeah, you would be in range or getting close.
Yeah. It makes sense. So let me just check this. So 30 grand, you're taking our 31. So your cash 5. Yeah, you're 40% of that. I got it. I understand what that is. Okay. All right. I got it. I like what you got here. Yeah. And yeah. So again, folks, one of the things, again, I'm an open book, right? I didn't understand the power of cash out refi or 1031 or now what I call recycling capital. This is a very interesting way to model because there's certain things that you can easily model, right? Do you think housing will be more expensive or less expensive in 5 years? I think most of us would say more. If you have 30-year fixed rate debt, congrats, your mortgage payment doesn't change. Cool. Rent increases, reasonable. At some point, I really do think I wrote about it in my book, right? I think you go through stages: acquisition, growth. I guess growth is the way to call it. Then there's kind of management. And then there's like, I'm done. Most of us are in growth phase. So you could either do income snowball, which is awesome. If your goal is to make work optional, have 10 properties and be done, income snowball is fine. You'll get there in 10 to 12 years. If you want to go a little faster, you want to do some recycling capital, that's just in your wheelhouse. You could get to 20, 30 properties. It's really that, to me, it's that choice. Are you going to be happy with 10 or do you want a little bit more? If you want to, it's hard to do income snowball and get to 30, at least in a short time.
How about going to 10 with recycling capital?
It's much faster, just much faster. And again, the beauty here, right? You get into this deal for 30K, like year 0 here, this little red number, B6. What you're doing at year 5 is you're taking all of that out plus $8,000. So you have zero capital and you're redeploying it. And oh, by the way, you've had 5 years to save for your next one. So it's just a way to, for me, it's just a way to snowball faster. And again, when you get done, it's fun to look back, because I did this a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. We have zero of our own capital, which in this example is this 30 grand right here, in any of our real estate, any of it. None of our own capital is in any of our real estate. That's a cool feeling.
Yeah, it sounds like using other people's money.
Exactly. So, John, I think you did a great job putting this together. I've never thought about it this way. I'm going to play with this a little bit more. I think there's definitely something here. Any other thoughts or questions about this?
Well, I just don't want to, create this guy.
Yeah, the alligator. Yeah, that's the one thing you got to watch, because we can have a time where rents are flat. There was a 5 or 6 year period for me where rents didn't move. We got to realize that is an option. And actually, I think there's a pretty good chance. And somebody asked me this on my live stream today. I'm personally forecasting 0% rent growth next year. I think we've sucked in so much rent growth the last 2 years. Again, maybe it's my baggage, my history. People can't keep paying 10, 20, heaven forbid, Miami, 38% rent growth. That's not sustainable.
Well, I can tell you in my market, there's a N unit that's the same exact type townhouses that I buy. And they want 1,500 this year.
Wow. Okay.
They didn't get it.
Ah, interesting.
I thought you would find that interesting.
So what do you rent them at? What is your number?
I'm at $1,275, looking to go to $1,375.
Okay. So somebody pushed it. They probably, again, this is why I'm so scared for Airbnb buyers. All these people coming in late, they're paying premium price, which means they have to get premium rent, or it's an alligator. I mean, that's why if you beat up your spreadsheet so much where you have to get 1,500 in this example, and then you don't get it, congrats, you already own it. And now you have an alligator. Be more conservative.
I'm all for that.
There you go.
I'm very conservative. I want to make sure everything works before I execute.
There you go. Well, hey, John, if I had one wish for the 52-year spreadsheet that you're playing with, since you've done such a great job with it, I don't know if the data's out there, so this may be an unrealistic request, but the one thing I've been thinking about is, could we get how many real estate transactions or homes were sold each year? Because I think
transactions.
I think what we'll see is, like in the 80s when there were double-digit 30-year money, I think transactions fall. And that is something I would love to see. Even if we can't go all the way back to 70s, if we can get the data for the 80s, I think that would be very interesting. Because again, I believe we will have a real estate crash this year, but it will be a crash in transactions, not price.
Well, I'll do some research out there on the internet and see what I can come up with for you.
There you go. I just thought I'd just sprinkle some goodness and see what happens. So, John, thank you very much for all you do. I appreciate it, man. And that hat looks really good on you.
Oh, I love this hat. I wouldn't go anywhere without it.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right. I'll get on that right away, and I'll send you that photo of the alligator.
Perfect. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
All right. Bye.